When Amigos started working in these communities 19 years ago, remember that Santa Cruz is a community only accessible by boat. And at that time, there were very few motorized boats going back and forth. And so access in and out of the community was very difficult. And there was school only up until 6th grade primary school. And even that, very few students were completing it. So the education level and the economic opportunities were really different at that time. Now, with the help of Amigos, not only does education go through the end of middle school here in Santa Cruz, but many students are leaving the community to continue their education in high school and even now into university. And the first university graduate just graduated last December, which was really exciting. And now we have a generation that's educated for the first time here in Santa Cruz. And what that means, that leadership within the organization is going to come from the community. We work in generally 2 program areas. One is youth and education, and the other is economic empowerment. So youth and education includes support for scholarships, materials, and early education programs. It also includes sex education in all of the public schools in Santa Cruz, and youth empowerment and youth leadership programs, training the next generation of community leaders. On the economic empowerment side, we have CCAP, which is the Centro de Capacitación, a vocational training center here in Santa Cruz, with classes in beading, weaving, sewing, carpentry, computers, culinary, things like that. And then we also work in women's empowerment and helping women to, in some of our more remote communities, to gain an education, as well as to start small businesses or business initiatives that can help bring in an income for themselves and for their families. In my opinion, one of the things that makes Amigos really special is the way that we've been working in this community for so long. Amigos is really invested in generational change. Some of those first little kids that were receiving school supplies 19 years ago are now working professionals on our staff. And they're the ones who are getting their university degree for the first time in Santa Cruz. And that's something pretty special. Another way that we work is really by involving the community. We don't work in handouts, we work in empowerment, and including the community in decisions and including members of the community in all of the programs that we do. In previous years, Amigos used to have a nutrition program in which we offered a daily snack, healthy snack to children in 4 different much more rural communities of Santa Cruz, where malnutrition was high. One thing we found after doing that program for several years was that it was difficult to sustain, and it was difficult to show that there would be continuation of those results afterwards. And what we really wanted was to instill something that's sustainable, a difference in the lives of these women and their children and their families that was sustainable. And we've now moved that program to what we call a women's empowerment program. So it focuses more on the overall health of the women and of their children, as well as it is fostering new business ideas, opportunities for the women to learn skills that they can use to directly make an income for themselves and use that income to support their families, as well as the knowledge that they're gaining in the program to understand what is a healthy diet, what is a healthy life and home environment for their children, and then have that income to be able to create it and sustain it. And that's what we want to move towards in all of our programs, and I think it's an example of how we're doing it in that one. So one of the goals that Amigos runs through all of our programs is sustainability. We don't want to rely just on donor funding. We also have 2 social enterprise businesses that are attached to our vocational training center. We have a store where we sell products made by the artisans that come up through our classes, and the purchases made in that store go directly back to support those artisans and some of the costs of the training programs. In addition, we have a cafe with rooftop with a beautiful view, a great place to come visit, and the profits from that cafe as well go directly back into funding those programs. We're moving towards sustainability in both our cafe and our store so that they can pay for themselves, provide work for the community, and invest more income back into the classes that we offer. In addition, I think that really what Amigos has done over the years is sow the seeds of empowerment in the community that will continue and is continuing well beyond our direct support. For example, we have an early education program in which parental involvement is required. And the mothers I've seen over these last few years have become more and more emboldened to speak up and speak out on behalf of their children for a better education. It's no longer Amigos staff or directors or coordinators that are in front of those efforts in the municipality or in the Ministry of Education, but it's the mothers themselves. That's amazing to see, and that's the future of Santa Cruz. You've seen the successes that we've been able to accomplish over the last 19 years here in Santa Cruz. Please give to Amigos de Santa Cruz on Giving Tuesday and help us to make a difference for the next generation.